Yung sa akin, nag-get pala ba? Tara.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I am happy to welcome you all to the launch of the Brave of Wheat, Nonoy Marcelo's Irreverent Art That Attacked and Endeared exhibit. We will kick off this event with a webinar entitled Nonoy Marcelo and His Phenomenal Pen and Wit. I am Ms. Karen Mainit, a faculty from the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts, and I will be your host in a morning full of inspiration from the life and works of FAU alumnus Mr. Severino Nonoy Marcelo. Now, it's a privilege to have you all with us as we look back and appreciate the remarkable works of Nonoy Marcelo during his time. Nonoy Marcelo was a brave cartoonist whose works left a critical mark in the history of Philippine art and in our society. His comic strips and characters like Ikabod Bugwit were grounded on a deep understanding of local politics, history, and culture. Marcelo first emerged as a political cartoonist when he was a cartoonist of the FEU Advocate. He was a 1998 CCP Centennial Artist Awardee and was nominated as National Artist. Now we will get to know more about Marcelo and his works as we proceed with our program. But before that, we are grateful to have the FEU Senior Vice President for Corporate Affairs, Attorney Giano Montinola, to formally welcome you to today's webinar.
Artists, art aficionados, friends, ladies, and gentlemen. I am pleased to welcome you to the launch of the Brave Bubwit, Nonoy Marcelo's irreverent art that attacked and endeared. Mr. Severino Nonoy Marcelo was a cartoonist who tackled the nation's most important issues through his works. We are proud to say that Nonoy got his grounding as a political cartoonist here at FEU, where he created editorial cartoons for the university's paper, The Advocate. This 3D virtual exhibit, the first of its kind during this pandemic, will present Nonoy Marcelo's published works as contextualized by the events in his life. It will feature original drawings from the private collection of attorney Sol Hofilenya and selected works from FEU Advocate. We are honored to be joined by some of the family and friends of Nonoy in this celebration of his life and works. We will hear from them as we move along on our program. We thank Attorney Hofilenya for lending FEU his private collection of works so that we can showcase to a wider audience how Nonoy influenced the nation to be more mature, a tad more self-aware, and able to deal with the country's follies and disappointments. Finally, I wish to thank all at the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts, headed by Dean Raquel Bakiran, for making this exhibit possible.
Yeah, thank you, Attorney Giana, for that warm welcome message. Next, we will hear from the family of our respected artist. We are joined by Gabriel Jamir T. Marcelo, a student from FEU Manila, currently taking up Convergent Media Track in the Institute of Arts and Sciences. Gabriel is a member of the International Order of Demolay and the president of Fidir Infortis, a nonprofit organization. Let us hear a testimonial straight from the cartoonist's grandson.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Jamir T. Marcelo, or just Gab, the grandson of the late Severino Santos Marcelo, or more famously known as Nonoy Marcelo. I am the youngest son of his firstborn Dario Marcelo, and a student of FEU taking up Convergent Media Track under the Institute of Arts and Sciences. First of all, I would like to thank Far Eastern University and the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts for organizing and arranging this online exhibit for one of your own. my Lolo Nonoy also studied in this esteemed university. And on behalf of the family, I would like I would also like to thank Attorney Sol Aveleno Jr. for loaning and sharing his personal collection of Nonoy's Lungga files and archives. The artworks and comic strips he bought from my dad when we were still living in Nonoy's creative space / hideout, which he pertained to as Lungga in UP Bliss. The Lungga files contained artworks and strips made by my Lolo Nonoy himself, since there were strips made by the team of my Tito Dengkoy Miel. I was only 1 year old when my Lolo died at the age of 63, and due to complications from his diabetes, so what I know from him, I only heard from the stories told to me by my dad and my nanay, and my Lolo's artist and writer friends. I grew up knowing the so-called Filipino art gods, namely national artist Ben Cab or Ben Cabrera, Jose Tenz Ruiz, the Dalenas, Napoleon Abueva, which is also a national artist, and journalist Howie Severino, and many more, because my father knew them and they were my Lolo's friends. My eyes were open to the world of visual arts at a very young age, as we would go to several art exhibits and art galleries with my dad and my Tito Dante Perez. My Lolo's artist friends would also refer to me and my kuya as Boss Nonoy's Bubwits, a quirky but apt reference to his famous comic strip, Ikabod Bubwit. When I asked his friends and colleagues about how my Lolo Nonoy was like as a boss or a co-worker, they would always tell me the same thing. That he was dedicated, and too dedicated to the point of obsession. That he would never leave his lungga and would never stand up from his big-ass office chair. Chain smoking a rim of Philip Morris cigarettes and downing several cans of Diet Coke until he was finished with whatever he was working on. And people who would also visit him in Slunga would certainly notice the piles of artworks cluttered and scattered in disarray, which according to my nanay's stories, my Lolo Nonoy would often refer to as organized chaos. My dad would also tell me and my kuya that Lolo Nonoy rarely slept, because his work was an obsession. Writer Alejandro Rosas would also describe him the same way. My Lolo in his comic strips created a world which reflected in the social political landscape of the 70s, 80s, 90s up until 2002, and tackled issues and topics which remain relevant up to this day. One of his comic strips, Tisoy, was made into a movie directed by no less than the legendary filmmaker Ishmael Bernal, which is also a national artist. His comic strips and his editorial cartoons were always political and would often poke fun at the ludicrous and partial and the outrageous side of an issue or a personality. His caricatures were spot on, putting emphasis on the most distinct feature, his subject. Needless to say, my Lolo Nonoy was truly a genius. I'm of course biased because, after all, I'm his grandson. I would also like to thank Attorney Sol Aveleno Jr. for his appreciation and patronage of my Lolo's artworks and his relentless efforts to preserve and promote them. It's my family's hope that you will enjoy Lolo Nonoy's artworks in this exhibit as much as the effort that he put into them. And as proud as we are of each and every piece, to close, I would like to share a little bit of trivia. Nonoy Marcelo made the Tamaraw logo, which is now used on the jersey of our school athletes in UAAP and several other sports. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much, Gab, for sharing with us a glimpse of your grandfather's journey as a comic artist. Now, truly, his legacy shall live on. Now, for us to know more about Nonoy Marcelo's life and works as a cartoonist, we have prepared a short presentation.
Born on January 22, 1939 in Malabon, Severino Nonoy Santos Marcelo was famous for and widely known to be the creator of the iconic comic strips Tisoy and Ikabod. He was a cartoonist of the FEU Advocate. There, he ran a comic strip about a student life titled PT. Later, this series developed into the comic series, Tisoy, which was inspired and modeled after his humanities professor, Alfredo Ding Rosas. Although Marcelo did not formally study fine arts, his mother Rita encouraged him since he was young and became a great motivator of his career. His uncle Jose Zabala Santos, who was a comic artist at that time, became an influence on the young Nonoy. Throughout the years, Marcelo's works humorously touched upon social issues that no one dared to talk about and represented the thoughts of society under oppression. His profound understanding of how art should be used as a medium of expression talks about politics and society and speak out against injustices in his country made him a national artist we know today. To the man who brought laughter and awareness through his striking illustrations and remarkable humor, surely your art will resonate for the future generations to come.
Okay, thank you to our animation and video team for that beautiful and entertaining presentation. Now we are ready to get in touch to the surface of Nonoy Marcelo's life, but we will try to get more up close and personal with him through our invited speakers this morning. Our first guest is Mr. Horacio Severino, or better known as Howie Severino. He's a journalist for more than 33 years. Early in his career, he worked with Nonoy Marcelo, who was then managing a quirky Sunday magazine in the late 1980s. Marcelo appointed Howie, who was then only 27 years old, as the editor-in-chief. Let us get to know more about Nonoy Marcelo in this one-on-one interview with one of his close friends and colleagues conducted by FEU Fine Arts faculty, Mr. Gino Antonio Rivera.
Uh, Good morning, Sir Howie. I'm Gina from the Faculty of Architecture, Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts, for the Fine Arts category. And Sir Howie, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, no, to join us this morning to share some personal insights or significant information that relates to the late Nonoy Marcelo. Something about his personal career, his characteristics and traits as an artist in general. Okay, sir. Thank you very much again for accepting our invitation. Okay, sir. First question: how did you and Nonoy meet? For example, what was the relationship like, and how was he as a person, or specifically being a creative artist? Can you tell us something about Nonoy as a person?
Nonoy was, for lack of a more common word, avuncular. Avuncular. Para siyang tito, which I regarded him as a tito because when I first started working at the Manila Chronicle in 1988, and I might have met him even earlier, maybe 87, or I think I met him in 88. He was already the head of the art department at the Manila Chronicle, which was a leading newspaper in the late 80s up to, I think, the mid 1990s. So he was the chief. He was the editorial cartoonist, the chief of the art department. So they did a lot of art. I think pati yung mga layout, siya yung in charge, no? I was a reporter. I was a rookie reporter for the Manila Chronicle. But that early, he really talked to me, for a couple of reasons. One is he realized right away na kababata niya yung tatay ko. They both grew up in Malabon. Oo. And they were around the same age. My father might have been like 2 or 3 years older. But my father had a younger brother na talagang ka-age yata ni Nonoy. Pero magkakabarkada yan when they were like 4 or 5 years old. At maraming kwento si Nonoy tungkol sa kanilang kabataan na hindi man lang naikwento sa akin ng tatay ko. They would play on the rooftop when they were little kids. They would do crazy things. Makwento si Nonoy eh. He was a natural storyteller, no? So he would entertain me and anyone else in his vicinity, with all kinds of stories while he was working. Ang galing mag-multitask yan si Nonoy eh. He'd be drawing his editorial cartoons while talking about something not, completely unconnected from what he was doing, from the subject of his cartooning, no? So that was one. So feeling niya kumbaga parang pamangkin ako dahil kababata niya yung aking ama. So he felt a connection that way, a connection to his childhood, a connection to his hometown of Malabon. Okay. Number two, I think he also saw something promising in me because at that time, medyo malikot ako na reporter eh. Kung saan ako nagpupunta, mahilig akong bumiyahe. I loved difficult assignments. I volunteered to cover disasters, to cover conflict, to cover the insurgency. I would travel to remote places to do stories. So I think that appealed to him because he was stuck in the office as the editorial cartoonist. Ang mga cartoonist naman, hindi naman masyadong bumabiyahe, di ba? They don't need to go out to do reporting. So in a way, he was kind of maybe living his own sense of adventure through me. Because I was very young, no? I was in my 20s. He was already, of course, around my father's age. So he saw something appealing in me, I think, in that sense. And I was considered, kind of an up-and-coming reporter at that time. I got my first awards when I was with the Manila Chronicle. So I was, I guess, one of the more promising reporters at that time. I mean, modesty aside. So he kind of took me under his wing. And I would visit him often, no? But I couldn't stay long in his office because in those days, pwede pa magsigarilyo kahit saan eh. And chain smoker si Nonoy Marcelo, no? He was famous for having a very messy workplace. Nandun yung ashtray niya sa ibabaw ng artwork niya. Nandun yung mga leftover pizza, mga mga boxes ng mga take-out food. Lagi nagpapa-deliver yun, may mga nagdadala ng pagkain, lagi siyang kumakain sa desk niya kasi sobrang workaholic si Nonoy. He hardly left his workplace. At bihira siyang umupo habang nagtatrabaho, nakatayo yun. Because he was, kiti-kiti yun eh. He loved gestures, he loved looking at you in the eye, he loved to interact, he liked to move around while working. But he was constantly working. And he gave me my first major opportunity. So in terms of responsibility, kasi I was a young reporter. I was a rookie reporter with the Manila Chronicle. After a couple of years, Nonoy told me, well, actually, 1988 pa lang, I was starting out as a reporter. So after a few months of working with Nonoy and visiting Nonoy in his office, hanging out with him, doing work at the Manila Chronicle. Alam mo, nasa field ako palagi, pero pag nagpupunta ako ng opisina doon sa may port area ng Maynila, kung saan yung Manila Chronicle office noon, dadalaw ako kay Nonoy, para kang nagsisimba sa isang legend. He was already a legend, no? He was already idol of many artists at that time. Many journalists looked up to him, and I just felt so honored and even flattered that he would give me attention. He would talk to me at length. I think, I think mostly because he felt a kinship, kasi kababata nga niya yung tatay ko, and he had a lot of stories about their childhood, which I also love to listen to, ano. But at the same time, ang dami rin niyang insights about politics, ang dami niyang jokes, ang dami niyang observations na kakaiba, no? So one day, he told me he's being put in charge of a magazine. It's a weekend magazine for an established newspaper. The journal. There was a Times Journal in the 1980s that became the Journal. And then nagtayo yung journal. Alam mo yung, di ko lang kung nag-exist sila pang ngayon, pero there was a kind of a company that produced newspapers called the Journal. There was the People's Journal na tabloid. There was the Times Journal na parang it was a regular sized newspaper. So this company decided to produce a weekend magazine. Nonoy was put in charge of the whole thing. But he was not a writer, no? He was, of course, he's an artist. He needed an editor. And then kinuha niya ako. I was still in my 80s. He made me editor-in-chief of this magazine. And at that time, hindi pa masyadong stable yung trabaho ko bilang reporter. I don't think I was even a staff reporter at that time. Binigyan niya akong opportunity to be a editor of this magazine, working directly with Nonoy. So Nonoy would be chief of the art department and producing editorial cartoons for the Manila Chronicle by day. And then at night, he produced this magazine with a group of night owls, most of whom were artists. Some of them are dead now, but they were all like very talented, some of them established young artists, newspaper artists, graphic artists, who Nonoy recruited to work with him. And so parang kami naging barkada sa gabi. We would all be in the same office. I'd be producing copy, I'd be laying out, I'd be writing captions and headlines, doing editorial work. And almost everyone else was an artist. Kasi mga writers nagsasubmit na ng storya, no? So ako yung nag-e-edit sa office. So everyone else was an artist, and I met a lot of artists in that office. I hung out with artists. I became close to artists. I loved their sensibility. I loved their jokes. I loved their personalities, their rapport, their repartee, their interactions, their group culture. It was a very, very happy, enriching time in my life. So among the artists there were Dante Perez. He's gone now, but he was a very talented editorial artist then. But he was also a painter. Si Ludwig Ilio, I think, was part of that. Sila Denkoy Miel. If you look them up, these are name artists now, no? Edwin Agawin and Arnel Agawin, no? They were brother artists, but they were both excellent artists. So lahat yan, mini-mentor ni Nonoy. Kumbaga, they were all proud to be mga bata, mga anak ni Nonoy, proteges of Nonoy. Kasama na ako doon. I felt like I was a real protege of Nonoy Marcelo because hindi lang ako kinaibigan. Spending all of that time there in that office, every night, all night, halos wala kaming tulog. Lalo na si Nonoy dahil may day job. Ako, pag uwi ko, natutulog ako eh. I really felt that he was my mentor. He really mentored us, but in a very light way. Hindi yung mentor na nagagalit, hindi yung mentor na nagsisermo, nagle-lecture. Wala eh. It was more of a, he mentored by example, by the example of his work. Parang magugulat ka na lang na, wow, naisip mo yan. Tapos, ikikwento niya kung ano yung susunod niyang idea. Parang isipin mo, wow, that's brilliant. Wow, that's funny. Wow, paano mo naisip yan, no? And then it just stimulated a lot of creativity in the group, which, I treasure up to now. I think a big part of my creative side was cultivated back then when I spent a lot of time with Nonoy Marcelo and all of these artists who were his followers, who were his proteges, and at the same time they were his staff. We were all his staff. So I became close to him, and then when I got married, he was one of my wedding ninongs. And I just have a funny story about him, no. So si Nonoy, you know, he was good at getting jobs, but I don't think he was great at managing his money. Okay, so he didn't really. I don't know what he spent his money on, pero he wore the same clothes, the same shoes. Wala kang mapapansin na anything luxurious. He drove an old car. He was already a famous artist, at saka maraming kumukuha sa kanya. He was getting a lot of projects, giving jobs to a lot of people. Pero he lived in a simple apartment, etc. Pero because I was close to him, kinuha ko siyang ninong. And then, ang regalo niya sa akin, he gave me a calling card of a general saying, oh, ito na ang regalo ko sa'yo. Pag may problema ka, ito, tawagan mo tong contact ko na general. Imagine, I mean, that's the most unique wedding gift by a ninong ever. Parang a connection in case I ever got into trouble. I mean, I think he was just trying to be funny, but he gave me the card, no? And then he also made the map to my wedding venue. Kasi medyo mahirap hanapin yung simbahan eh. Yung wedding venue was also the venue for my reception. Eh si Nonoy, of course, is, hindi siya yung artist na gagawa ng drawing based on technical specifications, no? I'm sure sa fine arts ninyo dyan, tinuturo yon, no? Technical drawings, no? So, sakto yung pagmamapa, etc. Yung kay Nonoy, yung mapa niya papunta sa aking wedding was more like an editorial cartoon, was more like artwork for a newspaper na maraming borloloy, may mga lumilipad na paniki, may mga daga, may mga in short, may mga guest ako sa kasal na nawala, no? Dahil nga sinusunod yung mapa at medyo nakakalito yung mapa. Of course, back then wala pang Google Maps, wala pang Waze, wala pang ang cellphone eh. So, ang sinusunod lang ng mga guests ko noon ay yung mapa ni Nonoy Marcelo, na medyo it was more of an artwork than a map. So, you can just imagine that, no? Marami pa akong kwento tungkol sa kanya, but I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. But sir, no, by hearing those stories, talagang mula sa, sabi niyo nga kanina, mula dun sa naging kababata ng inyong pamilya hanggang sa naging katrabaho mo siya, tama ba sir? A very close and personal relationship with Nonoy.
Well, I didn't know him before I was an adult. Yung basis ng unang mga usapan namin ay, sorry, I'm getting my power bank, is kilala niyo yung tatay ko. And magkababata sila. So yun ang pinaka, I didn't know him before I became an employee, became a reporter at Manila Chronicle. So yung samahan namin ay siguro, kailan ba siya namatay? Maybe you would know better the year that he passed away. 1990.
October 22, 2002.
Okay. So medyo matagal din kami magkakilala. So I met him in 1988. And up to the year he died, nagkikita pa kami. So that's a long time. That's 14 years, no? So it was a 14-year relationship.
Yeah.
I got married in 1994. He was there. We have pictures together at my wedding. You know, he was playing an instrument. Um, yeah. So we knew each other for 14 years.
Okay, sir, we those 14 years, which is some instances in your or during your work or in your collaboration with him na hindi mo makakalimutan in the leadership of Nonoy Marcelo. As a boss, maybe, yung hindi mo makakalimutan, sir, sa mga characters or traits ni Nonoy as a coworker in the office. Yung talaga masasabi mong signature ni Nonoy Marcelo I mean, during the work, in the workplace.
Well, I think his signature trait was his openness. His openness to si Nonoy loved people, no? He got along with everyone. He would talk to everyone from the owner of the company to the copy boy to the janitor. Kilala niya lahat 'yan, kinakausap niya lahat 'yan, and I think that was his sensibility because as an artist he recorded a lot of these interactions. He committed them to memory, you know. He committed a lot of these friendships and interactions to memory because these became his material for his art. Because his art was a lot of his art was based on real people, on real situations, on real politics. But then he used a lot of metaphorical symbols and images para hindi naman direkta yung atake or portrayal. So to me, that was his signature. You know, marami naman talented artists, no? Pero si Nonoy was an extrovert, no? He loved people. He was not a loner. He loved. Wala siyang time na hindi siya pwedeng storbohin.
Okay, sir. That's clear. You've shared a lot of significant memories with your relationship with Nonoy Marcelo, both professional and personal career. Sir, let's go to the next question. Did he tell you anything stories about his stay in FEU during your uh, 14-year na pagkakakilala po? Did he share something about his stay in FAU, sir?
Yes. Well, one, we all knew that he got started in his comic strip career, in FEU, and I mean, you can verify this, no? But my memory is getting hazy. Pero I think he was a campus journalist, editorial, cartoonist, artist at that time already. And dun siya na-discover ng Manila Times. So he was kind of a prodigy. He was like a brilliant young artist while still at FEU. And he was producing artwork that was good enough to be published and to be shared with the whole country. And ang pagkaalam ko, kinikwento niya, that's how he met Anding Roses, who at that time was the owner or publisher or both of the Manila Times, which was the leading newspaper in the Philippines at that time, and recruited him to produce art, to produce comics for the Manila Times. Now that has to be verified, no? Kasi I don't know exactly Alejandro Rosas' designation but and what exactly he started doing at the Manila Times. Pero what I do know is that bata pa siya, college pa lang sa FEU, ay nakilala na siya bilang isang talented artist na may future, may potential. And not just potential, who was already good enough to be a professional. No? Hindi siya pang estudyante lang na na journalist or artist, no? He was already pangmasa na siya. Someone who had a wit and a sensibility that could be effective, no? And at that time, the Manila Times very critical sa mga politiko, no? So, yun din siguro yung nakita ng Manila Times noon na may energy itong batang to at may creativity. So, let's get him on board and give him a job.
Okay. Yeah. So that's clear, sir. No? Sabi niyo nga po na kahit siya ay nagtatrabaho na sa FEU and doon nakitaan siya ng not just a skill but a potential na that he can contribute well to the society. And by hearing that, sir, coming from you, what do you think are the characteristics that set apart Nonoy Marcelo from other cartoonists or other artists in the Philippines that time?
At that time, he was unique eh. So hindi ko siya mako-compare sa iba, no? At hindi naman ako naging close sa iba kaya ang hirap i-compare kung paano siya naiiba sa iba, no? Pero to me, what made him special was his sense of kapwa, his openness to others, his friendliness, which I think he fed off of that. He fed off of all these little interactions, all these little relationships and friendships. They fueled his creativity. They fueled his imagination, and so these imagined worlds that he created in his cartoons. Dagalandia, yung mundo nila Tisoy, etc., etc. They were all based on real life. They were all based on real world interaction. So he was very immersed in this kind of social research. Observing people, talking to people. It wasn't just a matter of socializing. It was absorbing all of these influences, all of these just stimuli, no, to trigger ideas, no. And the other trait siguro is he had so many more ideas than he could execute. So I think the reason why he was a workaholic is that he was trying to make his work catch up with his ideas. Ang dami niyang ideas na hindi na niya na-execute dahil wala na siyang oras. So halos hindi na siya natutulog. I would stay up all night with him kahit minsan di ko siya nakitang umuupo, humihiga, umiidlip. Tuloy-tuloy lang ang trabaho eh. So and I think maybe in the end perhaps that lack of rest or lack of real relaxation maybe ended his life a bit too early, but that's how he was. He was just bubbling with ideas, bubbling with puns and jokes, and I think we only saw a fraction of that in his artwork.
Okay, sir. Kanina, habang nag-umpisa tayo, sir, you've mentioned a lot about the characteristics and attitudes of Nonoy Marcelo. And with our current generation now, sa mga youth ngayon, Sir, ano kaya sa tingin ninyo yung pwedeng ma-embody or pwedeng ma-instill na it can be a value, it can be a characteristics of Nonoy Marcelo to the young generation now? Kung siguro kung nabubuhay si Nonoy Marcelo ngayon, sir, ano kaya sa tingin niyo yung pwede naming or pwedeng makuha, ma-emulate ng young generation in terms of skills, the values, the professionalism?
Okay, marami ano. Well, one what comes to mind is a commitment to craft. Commitment to craft. Nonoy worked a lot, no? And then, 'di ba, to master something, you really have to spend thousands of hours doing it. It's not a part-time thing. It's not, something you do in your spare time outside playing games or aside, this it's something, it's a full-time commitment, art is a full-time commitment to be a master, to be a master at anything, whether you're playing the piano, learning tennis, or being a writer or reporter. It's a full-time commitment. No, there's no getting around that. So he had that. It was a full-time commitment. So he had as much diligence as I've ever seen in anyone. That's number one. And there's it was also a willingness to innovate, to experiment, to widen his repertoire. So he was an artist who became famous through his newspaper editorials and cartoons, but he also produced comic books. He also produced books. He also um, he also did animation. Some some of his characters ended up in the movies, and he was a consultant of that. You might want to look up some of these movies. I think Tisoy, his character Tisoy, ended up a movie, di ba? Plays, nagkaroon pa ng musical, I think, sa Cultural Center, yung ibang likha niya, yung ibang storya niya. So he was a storyteller, he was an artist who experimented on many platforms. So that's one, no? He did not, you could not box him in. Hindi mo siya makakahon sa isang medium, sa isang kategorya or platform, no? His ideas were for many platforms. Kumbaga, he didn't specialize in any particular platform. Marunong siyang gumuhit, marunong siya sa art, pero I think he was more of a storyteller. He was more of an ideas person, and art was his tool of expression for sharing his vision of the world and his vision of society and his critique of society and his view of how society should change.
Clear, sir. Thank you for that. And you've mentioned that Nonoy was a great storyteller, which leads to my last question, the fifth one. Okay. Sir, if Nonoy was alive today and producing comics until now, and how would you think he would handle this very emerging topic for all, something about the cancel culture, okay? And how do you think that society would receive or perceive his works, his comics, and yeah, today? So especially in an online world, how do you think that the generation would perceive that,
How do you define cancel culture?
sir?
Yeah, how do you define cancel culture? What do you mean by that?
Cancel culture, sir, in terms of relating to his works, since, di ba, alam naman natin, sir, na yung mga works niya is something talks about the politics, the history, and the culture of the country. And how do you think that if these works will be produced today, especially in an online world, how do you think that the government and the public, our generation would perceive uh, his comics, his way of doing his artworks, being a storyteller as his character?
Well, siguro the usual, may mga magbabash, may mga magto-troll, may mga mag-hate, marami rin matutuwa. It's hard to know, no? Certainly, hindi aatrasan ni Nonoy Marcelo ay yung mga
issue ng bayan, no? He would have his own way of critiquing, attacking, exposing, taunting, making fun of whatever was going on in politics or in society, no? And also human foibles, no? Yung mga nakakatawa, yung mga nakakainis tungkol sa ugali ng tao na yung mga mapansamantala, he would make fun of that. He would expose it. He would hold a mirror up to ourselves, and for a lot of people the truth hurts, di ba? Pero dati you would just nurse the pain of knowing that the foolishness that he is exposing applies to you. Ikaw yon. You're the one who's foolish, di ba? Ikaw may ugaling ganon. So you will just quietly nurse that, no? Pero these days, dahil masasaktan ka, mapipikon ka, ibabash mo siya sa Facebook, ibabash mo siya sa Twitter or whatever, no? So that you have a way of fighting back against people who have a critical view of society, like Nonoy Marcelo and others like him, whose life's work is really critiquing society and exposing what's funny, what's stupid, what's foolish about society and human nature. So I think that's the kind of reaction he would get. Alam mo naman, di ba, yung panahon natin,
Yes.
There's a whole diversity of reactions to anything.
Yes. Oh, sir. Sir, actually, those are the 5 questions that we wanted to ask you, and we got a lot of very significant details of Nonoy Marcelo coming from your own side. Any last words, sir? For the people who will be watching the video or the seminar, any last words that you want us to remember about Nonoy Marcelo as an artist, or maybe as a friend also to you?
Well, una, dahil ito'y isang proyekto ng FEU, kailangan sigurong maipagmalaki talaga ng university community ng FEU, yung mga estudyante, guro, administrators, pati mga alumni, na nagkaroon kayo ng Nonoy Marcelo na miyembro ng inyong komunidad at sumikat siya habang nasa FEU pa lang siya. Hindi siya nag-antay na makagraduate sa FEU para magkaroon ng mark sa lipunan, para magkaroon ng impact sa consciousness ng tao. Bata pa lang siya, no? Nasa FEU pa lang ay gumuguhit na yan, gumagawa na ng art yan na makabuluhan, na engaged sa society, engaged sa mundo, no? So, napakahusay na halimbawa yan na maaari nyo ipagmalaki sa kasulukuyang henerasyon, maging inspirasyon sa mga kasulukuyang estudyante at miyembro ng komunidad ng FEU na nagkaroon kayo ng isang Nonoy Marcelo na na-develop habang siya'y nasa FEU pa lang, no? So, mabuti na ginagawa niyo itong proyektong to para maalala siya. Pero sana ay ipagpatuloy niyo somehow kahit tapos na yung proyekto, no?
Yes, sir.
Pwede kayong kumuha ng pahintulot sa mga kasalukuyang may-ari ng artwork niya na gawin yung graphics, ilagay nyo sa t-shirt, di ba, na FEU, na parang dito nag-aral si Nonoy Marcelo, no? So FEU is, it's not just about basketball, or it's not just about your medical school, but it's also a school that should be known for art, because you have a beautiful campus. FEU, no?
Thank
Yung
you for
campus
that.
niya sa Maynila, art deco yan, ang nag-design yan, isa sa pinakatanyag na arkitekto sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas, at hanggang ngayon napaka well-maintained ng inyong campus, napakagandang spaces nyo dyan to display art, outdoor art, sculptural art. So nasa legacy ninyo ang mga tanyag, mga makabayan, mga mahuhusay na artist sa ating kasaysayan, no? So ipagmalaki nyo, no, and institutionalize it. Have a Nonoy Marcelo section in your library or in your buildings. If I were you, I would get FEU to buy some of the artworks. If you don't already own Nonoy Marcelo art, frame it, put it in a museum or a gallery on campus so that present and future generations of students can study it, be inspired from them, take pride in them, and be reminded all the time that Nonoy Marcelo once walked the same halls and graced the same campus as the current students. So, you know, take this project to another level. Kasi mga project di naman nagtatagal eh, di ba? So,
Yes.
isang karangalan to na tinanong niyo ako tungkol sa kanya, pero ang karangalan talaga ay nasa FEU at kay Nonoy Marcelo, no? So, kailangan talaga ma-institutionalize ninyo yung memory niya and make him more associated with your school. Kasi pag iniisip si Nonoy Marcelo, iniisip Manila Times, Manila Chronicle, but I think you can help people remember that he had deeper roots than newspapers. Ang roots niya ay nasa university community ninyo, and even deeper than that, doon sa Malabon, kung saan sila naglalaro ng aking ama nung sila ay mga musmus pa. So, maraming salamat sa inyo na nabigyan niyo ako ng pagkakataon mag-share ng memories.
For sure, sir. For with what you have shared with us, it's not only for the students or current or future students will be proud of, but also the employees as well. I guess, no. Again, maraming salamat, Sir Howie Zarino, for accepting our invitation to talk of some of the personal things about Nonoy Marcelo. Maraming salamat, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sir Howie, for sharing with us how incredible Sir Nonoy is as a man, an artist, and a friend. Now, for our second guest is Attorney Saul Hofileño Jr., the man who graciously and generously lent his private collection of Marcelo's artworks, making the Brave Bobit online exhibit possible. So, without further ado, let us listen to his interview with another faculty member of the FEU Institute of Fine Arts, Ms. Carla Gamalinda.
Hello, good day to everyone watching. I am Carla Gamalinda. I will be your host for today's webinar. And today, Far Eastern University's Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts is fortunate to have Attorney Saul Hofileño Jr. to talk about his collection of the art of Nonoy Marcelo. Attorney Saul, a graduate of Ateneo College of Law, teaches at San Beda College and Centro Escolar University in Makati. He was also the Dean of the Asian Development Foundation College. He is a member of the Philippine Pen, an international org of poets, playwrights, editors, essayists, and novelists. In 2012, he was given the Patnubay ng Sining Award by the City of Manila for his writings on Philippine history. He has written numerous books on art and history, including Under the Stacks, Vestments of the Golden Leaf, The Last Bohemian, and very recently, a book titled Luna, Arquitecto, the story of Andres Luna de San Pedro, Juan Luna's only son, who built some of the most beautiful structures in Manila. In 2017 and 2019, Attorney Saul teamed up with painter Guy Custodio to create Hocus, which are artworks that illustrate and interrogate Philippine history. 11 of these paintings are now on permanent display in the buildings of the National Museum in Manila. Isang tunay na alagad ng sining at kultura. Let us welcome Attorney Saul Hofileño Jr. Magandang araw, Attorney Saul.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Carla.
Good afternoon po. Diretso po tayo sa mga questions. At yung unang question natin, wala ring paligoy-ligoy. Why do you think people should pay attention to Nonoy Marcelo? Why Nonoy Marcelo?
Why not Nonoy Marcelo? You know, when Nonoy Marcelo was still alive, he was the most famous cartoonist in the Philippines. He had a sitcom, a weekly sitcom on television. Meron siyang, he was the first Filipino cartoonist who was interviewed by Time Magazine. Meron siyang pelikula. His cartoons were serialized in almost all the major dailies. Meron pa siyang, if I remember correctly, dalawa yung long playing albums niya. Meron pang ginawang rock opera starring Ikabod. Nonoy Marcelo was a real artist.
We can see, Attorney Sol, that you really admire Nonoy as an artist and a pop culture icon na nga, no? Ano pong kwento behind your collection? Can you tell us how you acquired the artworks that you have with you?
Nonoy Marcelo lived in UP Bliss in Diliman, Quezon City. And amid such humble surroundings, he worked night and day. He died at the age of 63, more or less 20 years ago. After his demise, Dario Marcelo, his son, became the administrator of his estate. When Da was still alive, we exhibited Nonoy's works everywhere. We exhibited at the Vargas Museum, the UST Museum, Robinson's Place, everywhere. Unfortunately, Da Marcelo died at a very young age of 53. It was Da Marcelo who sold to me the artworks of his father, Nonoy Marcelo.
I see. I guess it's good that we're trying to continue Sir Da's work of exhibiting Sir Nonoy's artworks. No?
Correct.
You mentioned his residence. I heard people mentioning the term Lungga files to refer to his estate. Why are they called Lungga files?
Files. Because they were made, they were drawn. The artworks were made at the Lungga of Nonoy Marcelo in UP Bliss in Quezon City. All the artworks were signed by Nonoy Marcelo himself. In addition, si Da, sinign niya yung artwork sa likod. Sometimes he affixed a sticker to authenticate the works. And all the artworks carried a dry seal, which showed the signature of Nonoy Marcelo. That told me that he had to authenticate the artworks again in order to prove its provenance, their provenance.
I see. Galing po pala sa UP Bliss, the Lungga, the original Lungga.
Correct.
Attorney Sol, in one of your interviews, you said that it was in FEU. It was FEU that defined Nonoy Marcelo. How so po?
Well, Nonoy Marcelo's mother taught English in FEU. His father was an assistant dean of FEU. Nonoy Marcelo studied in FEU. His siblings studied in FEU. Da Marcelo also studied in FEU. And now his grandchildren are studying in FEU. I could honestly say that FEU nurtured the artistic talents of Nonoy Marcelo. Alam mo, pag pumunta ka sa FEU, you go to the chapel, makikita mo yung trabaho ni Botong Francisco, a national artist. You go to the admin offices, you will see the artworks of Fernando Morsolo, also a national artist. Maraming buildings ng FEU. Ang nag-design si Pablo Antonio, a national artist in architecture. And in the middle of the quadrangle of FEU, you will see the sculpture designed by Vicente Manansala, a national artist. Pag naglakad ka papunta sa admin offices, you will see the works of Francesca Monti. Hindi siya national artist because he was an Italian. Anyway, Nonoy Marcelo, I could honestly say it was really FEU that defined Nonoy Marcelo. He praised FEU at every turn. Kung pinanood niyo yung movie Tisoy, minention doon yung FEU. Yung doon lang sa dance floor. Pero it was mentioned. I could truthfully say that Nonoy Marcelo was indeed made in FEU. Bago ako magtapos, pwede ba akong bumati?
Go. Yes po, attorney. Go ahead.
Thank you. I would like to thank FEU, Far Eastern University, Attorney Gianna Reyes Montinola. I would also like to thank the professors of FEU, the students of FEU, and those who made this virtual exhibit possible. Thank you very much, FEU.
Maraming salamat din, Attorney Sol, for safeguarding the works of Nonoy Marcelo and continuing to share his genius with the world, especially to us in the FEU community. Knowing about Nonoy Marcelo, para sa amin, it's like getting to know a long-lost tito or lolo. He is a very important piece to us that we really need to get to know. So thank you, Attorney Sol, for sharing your time with us today.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you again, Attorney Sol, for sharing your experiences with Sir Nonoy. Your kind words and constant support for his work is truly admirable. Now, aside from celebrating Nonoy Marcelo's milestones as an artist, we are reminded to be aware of the nation's important issues. Now, this brave cartoonist tackled some of the darkest events in Philippine history and used humor to look at each situation from a different light. The FAU community is proud to have an influential artist among its alumni. So FAU was Marcelo's rehearsal space, and he shone as bright in the university as he would on the national stage. Now, as we end the first part of our event, we are privileged to have the Dean of the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts, Architect Raquel Bakiran.
Greetings to you all. I am honored to be asked to provide the concluding remarks for this event. On behalf of Far Eastern University and the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts, we would like to express our gratitude to our special guest, Attorney Sol Hofileño Jr. and Mr. Howie Severino for your outstanding contribution in today's webinar. And my deepest gratitude goes to all of you for having joined us in this official launch of the Brave Bubuit, Nonoy Marcelo's Irreverent Art That Attacked and Endeared 3D virtual exhibit. Just to share, our Senior Vice President for Corporate Affairs, Attorney Gianna Montinola, introduced us to Attorney Sol Hofileña in September of 2019. We originally planned to launch the exhibit at the end of 2019 or early 2020, but a lot of things changed because of the pandemic. Organizing a virtual exhibition is actually not easy because it requires the full effort of the Institute to make all the necessary arrangements. We couldn't have pulled this exhibit without the cooperation of our fine arts faculty and OJT students led by Ms. Jacqueline Dating and Ms. Karen Mainit, Architect Daniel Magtibay, MCO, AAO, Attorney Gianna, and Attorney Sol, who have been such a tremendous support to ensure that this 3D virtual exhibit is up to the mark. In the galleries, you will see the original works of Nonoy Marcelo from the personal collection of Attorney Hoquilena, and as well as his contributions as the FEU advocate cartoonist, which are kept in the FEU library. The purpose of this exhibit is educational. It aims to showcase the stories, narratives, and the creative genius in the editorial illustrations of Nonoy Marcelo. This is also to pass on these fine works of traditional comic art to present and future generations. I am proud to say that this first of a kind 3D virtual exhibit will draw your attention and will interest you. We have built an engaging, interactive digital exhibit to highlight the iconic comic strips of Nonoy Marcelo. Before ending my closing remarks, I would like to convey my special thanks to the family of Nonoy Marcelo for allowing us to share his works here at FEU where he graduated, and for allowing us to open it to the public. Thank you, and I invite everyone to show your support in this long-awaited exhibit. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, thank you, Dean Bakiran, for gracing us with your presence and for your immense support in this activity. Now, we move on to the highlight of our event. We are very excited to finally invite the public to view this much-awaited project of the FEU Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts in partnership with the Marketing and Communications Office. This is the first of its kind during these challenging times, when limitations in experiencing art in its physical form is made possible through the help of technology. Today, we are opening the first gallery of the Brave Bugwit Nonoy Marcelo's Irreverent Art that Attacked and Endeared, a 3D virtual exhibit featuring the life and works of Severino Nonoy Marcelo. This exhibition, which features Marcelo's works throughout his life as an artist, is divided into 5 segments. It showcases almost 230 artworks within a simulated 3D gallery of Far Eastern University Manila's Nicanor Reyes Hall, or NRH, and is curated into 7 galleries, which will be launched in phases per area. Now, for the first segment, entitled FEU as Nonoy's Early Lungga, it is the Gallery 1. It is opening today, November 11, 2021. Now, for the second segment, entitled Tisoy and Plain Folks as Masterpieces in Social Satire, for Gallery 2, we are opening it on November 22, 2021. For Gallery 3, on December 6, 2021. For Gallery 5, December 20, 2021. Now we move on to the third segment of the exhibit, entitled Stateside Interlude, which opens Gallery 6 on January 17, 2022. Now moving on to the fourth segment, entitled Nonoy as Historian, which we are opening Gallery 7 on February 2022. Now for the last segment, we have the fifth, entitled Ikabod and the Galandia. That would be Gallery 4, which will be opening on January 31, 2022. Now there's a lot of exhibit opening, gallery opening in the coming months, so I hope everybody will watch out on that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a sneak peek of the Brave Bugwit exhibit. All right, so are you excited? I'm sure that you are all ready to see it for yourself. The 3D gallery can be accessed through the link posted on the screen and also in the chat box. You can also check it out through the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts Facebook page. Now, at this point, we would like to acknowledge and thank the people behind this project. First, to Attorney Solo Vilena Jr., for lending us his collection of Sir Nonoy's artworks. We appreciate your generosity and how you've kept well these treasures for the next generation of artists. Now, to the Marketing and Communications Office for helping in the promotion and preparation both the webinar and the virtual exhibit. To FEU Manila Library for sharing your resources of Sir Nonoy's works during his stay in FEU. Now, to the advertising and visual communication, as well as the architecture OJT students, for helping us with the preparation of all the creative materials, thank you. We acknowledge also the hard work and guidance given by their professors in executing a very remarkable work. Now, to Excite, our web partner or web developer, for designing this 3D virtual exhibit. And finally, to everyone for joining us in this joyous moment. We hope that you visit the Brave of Wit exhibit, and of course, don't forget, spread the word to everyone. Now, this concludes our program. So this has been Ms. Karen Mainit from the Institute of Architecture and Fine Arts. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day. God bless everyone and stay safe.